What's up YouTube, it's me Rios with another MPC 500 tutorial. This time I'm going to cover sequences, tracks, and song mode. So right now I have my MPC 500 fired up, and this is actually the beat me and my cousin were working on earlier. We happened to get 5 tracks on there, and pretty much when you're going to make a beat, the best way to go about it is to, in the first sequence, this is how I do it, lay all your tracks. It could be anywhere, anywhere from your hats all the way to your samples. So usually this track right here actually happens to have 5 tracks. So it'll have the hats, the kicks, the snares in this one track, a bunch of different synths because my cousin was messing around with the synths, and shut that right there. And this is what it looks like. So sequence 1, I'm gonna hit the track mute button to show you guys what songs or what the sequence sounds like. It's gonna be on pad bank A because that's where all the sequences or tracks are in. So I have all the tracks muted generally or naturally or whatever the word is. It's gonna be like that normally. That's what it is. It'll be blank. So when you hit the play and stop button or the play button, it'll play everything. So I'm gonna stop that. So just to show you what the tracks are, I'm gonna mute every track. You just press the pad it's on. 2 is gonna mute 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when you hit the play button, nothing comes on, but you stop it. So it's like I said, it's on track mute. If you scroll, you can actually put it on track solo, so it'll play the track by itself. I like to put it on track mute because it's right there, the first one. So I'm gonna unmute the first track and play it. That's your hats. The second, mute that one. That's actually a key, so it'll come in. Stop that one, mute that one. Alright, mute that one again. Some strings. Okay, so that's how it is. That's all the tracks. I mute them, or I'm going to unmute them. So when it plays again, it'll be again. So I'm going to go to the main sequence. I only have one sequence right now, but I want to make a song. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure it's on the sequence, hit parameters. And actually, when you hit parameters, it should be like that sequence loop. You're going to scroll to the right until you go to copy sequence right there. And it's going to say 2. If you hit down, it'll be blinking on the 2. If you scroll to the left, or to the right, it'll be from. So it's going to copy from sequence number 1. It's already automatically there. So you go and put it to 2, hit right, and put on number 2. You scroll to number 2, it'll be unused. And you press do it. Now sequence 2 has the same tracks. Now what I'm going to do again, I'm going to hit parameters. It's going to be on copy sequence again. It should be automatically on 2. Scroll to number 3. Do it. And we'll just use those for example. So let's say I want to make a quick song. I'm going to go back to sequence number 1. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to mute the drum pattern and the hat pattern. So actually we'll mute these two. We'll mute all 4 of those, so it'll just be the strings. I'm sorry, not strings. There we go. We'll have the bass line. So, okay, for sequence 1, I just want it to be a bass line intro. So I'm going to go back to sequence again. Go to sequence number 2, scroll to sequence 2. I'm going to hit the track mute button again. So now I want to just mute the strings and mute this one right here. So when I hit the play button, I actually muted, track... I left track 4 and track 5 muted, so when I hit the play button, I mute. So let's say I want that to be my verse, and I'm gonna go back to sequence again, sequence 3. I'm gonna leave everything unmuted, so that'll be the hook. So now if you follow along with me, you're gonna have your sequences, your tracks, and you're going to copy your sequences, and you can just sit there and mute. You can actually edit the tracks in each sequence. That way when you actually put it in song mode, it'll sound more continuous rather than just the sequences playing. But if you're lazy like me, you'll get hold on, let me turn off my phone. You will if you're lazy like me, you'll just I just mute the tracks and then put some on there. That way it can sound like a song, whatever. So I'm going to go back to sequence. You're going to hit mode, song. Pad number 12. It's going to be song select. You're going to scroll to the right until you get to assign sequence. You press down and it'll be 001. That'll be the first sequence. And you go to the right, it'll say end of song. I'm going to put on the first sequence. Go back to the second sequence. Go back to, now hit right, and they'll say in the song. Find the second sequence. Do it for number 3. That'll be a second sequence. And number 4 will be the hook, so that'll be sequence number 3. What I like to, like I said, like what I like to do, I like to put my sequences at 8 bars. So I'll be like, let's say the first sequence is the intro, the second sequence is the verse. It'll be 2 of the verses, or 2 sequence number 2s, which will make it 16 bars. And the third sequence is a hook, which is another 8 bars, and just repeat that. So I'm going to show you again. So it'll be on track number 5. Let's go back to number 2, sequence 2. Track 6 will be sequence 2, since it's a verse. Track 7 is going to be the hook. 8, verse. 9, verse. 10, hook. 11, hook. So let's go back. I'm gonna scroll all the way to number 1. If you can see it on the video, hopefully it'll come out. Number 1 is gonna be from sequence 1. 2 is 2. 3 is 2. 4 is 3. So right there, I have an intro, verse, verse, hook. So I'll be 8-bar intro, 16-bar verse, 8-bar hook. I loop that, and at the very end, when you do it on the third time, double the hook. When you double the hook, that'll be a 16-bar outro. Pretty much that's like the basic song format of a hip-hop beat. You got an 8-bar intro, 16-bar verse, 8-bar hook, 16-bar verse, 8-bar hook, 16-bar verse, 16-bar hook, and that's pretty much it. So let's say you have it like that. You're gonna go press the up button to assign sequence. You're gonna scroll all the way to convert songs. You're gonna hit the down button. You just scroll right. It'll say to 4 or any blank sequence. You do it. Now when you play it, it's gonna play the song. The sequence is how you put them. So that's all there is pretty much to it. So after you do that, you save your song. You can go to mode save. If you know how to save, just go back to my other MPC tutorials. Excuse me. So you go to mode save. You either save the entire memory or just the songs and sequences. And the next video will be how to save a song.